morning. This is time for something totally different. I, it's, I try to I try to have this channel show you that as you age, you can still do things. Well, there are things you still have trouble doing. Your eyesight goes, for instance. You don't have the stamina. Even though if you're on whole food plant-based, you have more stamina than most people. So I had a friend come over, Gary. You'll meet him later, not in this episode, but he and I are going to have fun. And he came over and he said, Al, do you want to go for a ride in my self-driving Tesla? Well, of course I do. So he lives 8 miles from here. We went to his house. He showed me something over there. And then he came back and I said, Dottie, you have got to see this. So in his self-driving Tesla, he self-drove to the market, parked the car, and then they came back and she looked at me, and this was on a Monday, and she says, I love it. Wednesday, I had one, not a new one, but I still had a Tesla. And about a week later, I went through whatever was required to get it self-driving. Now, let me tell you, right up front, couple of things that are important. First, it's a computer on wheels, and it has enriched, I've had it for about 3 months now, it enriched my life and extended my mobility and unbelievably enriched my life. Now I drive at night. I don't worry at all about night things, and I don't worry about distance. Okay, let's see. I was going to say something else, and of course it escaped me. It just is. You got it when you get to be in your late 80s and 90s. You don't want to drive as much. It's stressful, particularly if you go to a new place. Oh my goodness! And particularly if you're on the freeway. And Sacramento is full of freeways. There's a restaurant that I go to. It's on the other side of the moon, I call it. But I have to go through freeways to get there. And that's just stressful. Oh, am I going to make the turn or something? I don't even worry. I put the address in, press self-drive, and off you go. Now, it's not full self-drive. It's called supervised full drive. Now, what that means is you have to stay awake, but you don't have to touch anything as long as you keep your eyes on the road, which you do, and you sort of assume the role of, well, you should assume the role of a passenger, and you get to look at the scenery. For instance, on Mother's Day, we went to our daughter Pam's house, who lives 42 miles from us. I was in the garage. I put her address in. I was in the garage, pressed start. It went out of the garage, closed the garage door, and drove to her house. But on the way, there was a detour. I don't know. So I just I thought, well, let's see what it does. It followed the detour, which was kind of a small, narrow road, and they didn't want people to be on this road, so they had all these series of speed bumps. So we're going along at 45, 50, and the speed it slows down for the speed bumps. Really neat. So, and yesterday, Dottie and I went to about we were running errands together. We did about 5 different places. And this Tesla has Grok. Now, if you don't know what Grok is, it's an artificial intelligence. Actually, the driving is an artificial intelligence. And you swear to God if somebody is in there driving it, because it does things that a human does. For instance, when you get to a stop sign and somebody will wait for the other person and wait. Now the other person's, they're picking their nose or they're looking or something, and then they realize they're holding you up and they go on. And the car goes on. That blew me away. Um, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, I've told you about. I would not hesitate. About a year or two ago, I went to Dottie's brother's Mike house. It's 300 miles. It's on 80. It's a straight shot to beautiful downtown Winnemucca, Nevada, and it's about a 5-6 hour trip. It took us a little bit longer. I made it all the way there, and this was in driving my other car, and we had a nice weekend there, spending time with him. On the way home, I thought, well, I'll drive home. I made it about halfway home, about 2 or 3 hours into the ride, and I was beat. So I had to stop, and Daddy drove for about an hour until I recovered, and then I got and finished the drive up. I would not hesitate at all to take this car there. In fact, I set up a route using artificial intelligence Grok and said, I want you to stop every hour because if I sit much more than an hour, I get stiff and have a hard time getting up. And it will stop, and it tells me how long, where it's going to stop. It stops at what they call superchargers. You just put electricity like you're filling gas in your car, and it takes 17 to 25 minutes, which isn't bad. I can get out and walk around during that time. So it's really nice. On the trip I told you on Mother's Day, I took my daughter and son-in-law with us, and so I got to talk with the passengers. I mean, I know you can talk when you're driving, but you don't have to focus on anything else. They want you to be awake and sleep. And look, but I am. So, in summary, I got to tell you, and I looked around. Nobody has anything on the market that'll touch this. And what happened? Let me tell you how I got it too, because you don't have to buy new. I looked at a new one. Well, as I said, my buddy picked me up on Monday. Wednesday, Dottie says, "Let's go to the Tesla dealer." So we drove down there, and Tesla's like a lot of companies. You get the basic car. Oh, you want wheels? No. But if you want a white interior, that's extra. You want any color than the standard color? That's extra. You want fancy wheels? That's extra. So the thing priced out about 60. And I'm thinking, I don't, I'm 90 years old. I don't want to spend that kind of money on a car. So well, it was a nice dream, honey. Let's go home. So we go home, and on the way, we pass CarMax, which is a big, car place. They sell used cars. So I walked in and I said, do you have any late model cars, Teslas, that have a white interior, which is the only thing I was interested in? Oh, yeah, we got two of them. Okay, what do you got? Well, they had a brand new 2026 with 900 miles on it. I thought, ooh, that's interesting. I look at it. So what do you want for it? 52 or 54. Well, that's a better deal, but you're still out of my ballpark. What else you got? He said, well, they have a 25, which is 1 year, another year older. Oh, that's only 2 years old. How many miles? 9,000. Oh, now I'm interested. Now it's the old style. I don't care what style it is, but and so I looked at it and I determined that it would accept full service FSD, self-driving, and that's extra. By the way, that's $100 extra a month, which is worth it. Not even any doubt in my mind. So I said, what do you want for it? And they said 42. And I thought, oh, all right, 20 grand, I'll take it. And I didn't even drive it, except I had to drive it home and I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't I had to drive it like a regular car. And man, I gave it a little gas to get up to traffic, and man, it put me in the back seat. This thing is a hot rod. But I have put about 3,000 miles on it. And according to the car, it keeps track of how often you use the full service. full service self-driving, and 97% of the time. And according to Tesla, and I believe them, you're 9 times less likely to have an accident than if you're driving it yourself, if you're on full self-driving. And I actually believe that it is so less stressful. It is so I so much enjoy things. I go places now at the drop of a hat, and I really haven't noticed any increase in my electrical. I'm sure I have increased it, but it's not really noticeable. But it's the price of gas today. I haven't paid that. So I just want, it's something that has enriched my life in an incredible amount. So I wanted to share it with you all. It isn't as big as whole food, plant-based lifestyle, which has extended my life, but it's probably close to the next big thing. I can't think of what it is. So that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. And if you got any questions, don't hesitate don't write. If you get a hold of my phone number, which is on my website, and give me a call. I'd love to talk to anybody. I'll see you later. Bye.